All right, so I just got home from the running shop. I haven't even tried these bad boys on. These are the Saucony Ride 17s. I promise you it's not just a box. Well, let me prove it to you. See, what I want to do in this video is to give you the specs and overview and also changes from the last ones, these ones, the 16s. So in this video, I just want to call out the specs, changes, because you know what? Just because the 17s come out doesn't mean these bad boys stop being good shoes. In fact, they get cheaper. Let's talk about the 3 things you always need to know. And you start to see the big differences right now, good and bad in terms of the upgraded shoe. Let's start with the price. You see, this launched at 130. This is launching at 135. This is currently 135, whereas you can get this now. It doesn't stop being a great shoe, but you can pick it up. I saw it at Sports Shoes for 78 pounds. In terms of weight, the new one came in at 300 grams in a 9.5 UK. The old one, 275, so it's lighter. But there are good reasons why this is heavier, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk about stack height. Nothing's changed. 35 at the back, 27 at the front, making an 8mm drop. Okay, now let's just compare the shoes just by looking at them. I've run in this one, so I know what this feels like. But with this, there's some changes that I really appreciate. Let's start with the biggest one of them all, and that's the midsole. You see, if you look at the side over there, it says Power Run. Whereas this one says Power Run Plus. Plus. Now, this is a more premium foam. And you know what, man? Forget what it's called. It just feels better underfoot. In fact, this is the foam they use in a more plushier shoe. I think it's called the Triumph series. This just feels so much better. If you're up for something a bit firmer, a bit more return of energy, closer to the ground kind of feel, this would be it. But if you're looking for comfort in your daily trainer, that sort of delivers that propulsion similar to this, but with a bit more comfort, a bit more considered cushioning, this will be that shoe. What I'm about to tell you now, don't tell anyone else. I had a choice between this shoe and the Ghost Max from Brooks. I put them on and I chose this shoe based on comfort only. I chose this one compared to that one, which is being sort of marketed as Max Cushion, Max Stack. It didn't feel like it, whereas this genuinely does. And that goes a long way. And that's that Power Run Plus speaking for itself. Right. Let's go to the heel. Now, to me, honestly, I think they've lost me a little bit in the heel because I like that this is plushier. The Ride 16's heel is much, much plushier than the 17. And you can actually see that if you look closely. This is a bit slimmer. Now, I appreciate that this is more engineered for a bit more a slicker look, but I like the plushier feel. But what they've done better in this heel that is not in here is, if you can see, I don't know why I crossed my arms there when I could have just done that, but we now have a heel tab. There you go. That makes putting the shoe on much, much easier. And I appreciate that. I think it's a nice touch. As you know, when I speak of tongues, I always start talking about whether a shoe is gusseted or not. 16, gusseted, dang, dang, dang. And you know what? They didn't lose that in here. They've maintained the gussetedness. I like that. The tongue is attached on the inside. Well done. What is different for sure, though, is the texture on the tongue. I like what they've done in the 17. It feels a bit more considered, still plushy, but you know what? They're both plushy and they both feel great. If you went for the 16, you wouldn't be missing out. The one thing that is, I don't like doing this. I really don't, because it might be innovation, you know? But if you look at the lacing system in this shoe and what they've done in the eyelets, I just disagree with it. But that's just me. I just like what they had here. What they had here is just holes in the upper. And that lacing system did the job. Honestly, I loved what it did. It worked very well. I'm not saying this doesn't, because I haven't ran in the shoe. I will give you an opinion once I get there. But this already tells you, like when I pull, and I will pull because I want to get a good lockdown, this doesn't feel as resilient as what the standard setting on the laces would. Personally, I think they should have kept it simple, but we will see. It's not even an initial run impression kind of review. This is just me opening the box, telling you differences. Okay? What they have nailed is this upper. I absolutely love the changes. Now look, in terms of breathability, when you look at the outside of the shoes, when you compare them, you can see this is sealed, whereas here, these are not even perforations. It's like somebody just left the window open. This is going to make for a very breathable shoe, but it has this texture, almost like a hand, like gripping your foot down. I can see they had that here because you can see within the textures on the sides of the shoe, but what they've got in this shoe, it's a bit more intentional, almost like a leathery, rubbery feel that holds your foot down. When I start running in it, I'll get a spec sheet and I'll give you the specifics of this material, but it looks to be much more intentional in terms of the design and how well engineered it is. Staying with the upper, there's much more perforations in the 17, making it much more breathable than the 16 is, and they've done that at the front all the way around, and it's much more intentional, it's much more breathable. Just a word of caution, depending on where you're running, if it's in wintertime, that's going to get you a bit more exposed to the cold, but when it's spring, summertime, that's going to work magic in terms of the breathability of this upper. Saucony, well done. And you know what? When it comes to the outsole, well done. This is definitely an upgrade. You see, what I criticized in the 16 was the rubber was flush with the midsole, therefore not really providing that much protection towards the midsole. Don't get me wrong. It won't wear out to the point where it starts impacting your run with the way it's sort of configured, but it shows that they've addressed that in the 17 because what you're seeing as the rubber, that protrudes much further than the white, which is the midsole. And that is the Power Run Plus we talked about. All in all, I think much better shoe. I say that because it's performed what was perceived to be, wait. Laces. I didn't actually talk about the laces. Hold on. So they've maintained these laces and I like that. They've got this stretchy, nice to the touch kind of feel. I want to say thank you for not messing with that. It's really, really cool. What I criticize about the lacing system are more about the eyelets than it is about the actual laces. All right, let me wrap up. Who is this shoe for and should you get it? Like I said, this is just an initial look. I haven't even gone into my house with the shoes just yet. I'm going to do a few runs all of the coming week. All of my runs are going to be in this shoe with a detailed review coming on the Friday coming. Hey, thank you for checking this out. You know what? I enjoy it every time I do these videos. I enjoy it if you check it out. And actually, if you want to see the detailed review of this shoe, I'm going to stick it on there. You can watch it here. Thank you very much.